is another gay horror pod with Stuart Ross and Jesse Tabbitt.
Hi, Jesse Tabbitt. How are you doing today?
Stuart, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
All you're doing is just saying my name in a sort of sad way.
I'm kind of, yeah, I mean, I am kind of hungover. Actually, that's not true. I had one glass of wine last night, a single glass.
You know what?
And
wine
I woke
does
up
that,
early,
though.
and it does. And I woke up like very early, and I just couldn't get back to sleep. And I'm like, you know what? I'm never going to drink again. Yeah. That being said, I am going to a party tonight.
You are going to go drink
brewery.
Tonight. Yeah. Which brewery?
Let me check. I think it's I almost said the one in the Arts District, but there's many in the Arts District. It is
it Arts District Brewery?
Angel City, I think.
Oh, I love Angel City.
Wait, hang on.
I thought they closed, but
sorry. It is Arts District Brewing Company.
That's where I had my wedding. So,
oh,
yeah,
sweet.
Also, where Quinn Lee, our Patreon subscriber, had his birthday this year.
That's right.
Yeah, storied.
Love it. Love it. Let me put on chapstick. Hang on, my lips are really chapped.
Yeah,
it's so windy in LA right now.
Upsettingly windy. It is.
I'm like into it, actually.
Yeah, but it's also kind of becoming a warmer wind because it's gonna be hot tomorrow.
Yeah,
and that's I don't like a hot wind.
Yeah. I always think the wind is like really magical. Like when I was a kid, I thought I like dreamed about getting like swept up and like, I don't know. I just really love the wind. Away.
Yeah.
I really love the wind. Wind mentioned. Should we talk about
can you ask me how
two
I'm doing?
bangers? Oh yeah. Oh my God. I'm so selfish. How are you doing, Stuart?
I had a real roller coaster of a day yesterday. I booked a job, so I'm going to be after 5 weeks unemployed, which is actually like a normal amount of unemployment for me. 5 weeks is like a slam dunk time. I'm coordinating a movie starting next week. But then my day ended with a chunk of my tooth falling off. While I was eating gummy mini frogs.
It makes sense that a chunk of your tooth would fall off while you're eating gummies. Like if there's something that you're going to be eating, it's going to be gummies.
It does feel like it's my fault. So I'm, after we record today, going to get an emergency filling before I go to a friend's going away party. So that's a full Saturday. And so if my voice sounds a little weird, or if you're watching our video and I'm like touching my face, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and all your teeth just fall out. No, that's not.
I'm down bad.
You're down bad. I totally relate to that, though. I mean, we're busy girls, and but I think I learned semi recently that like you better you being me better get it taken care of,
but also
sooner because if you don't, it's going to cost more money down the line, and down the line. For you might not have benefits like when it does need to happen.
I mean, thankfully I do. Thankfully, I through Chris have dental insurance.
Yes, correct.
Which I actually don't think I realized. Which has been another thing about my procrastination. I've been like, well, I don't have dental insurance, so why am I doing it?
Get those veneers. Get that glow up.
But honestly, here's the thing. I think worse than my tooth falling out, chunk of my tooth falling out, is the subject of our mini review today.
Incredible segue. Maybe one of your best.
Today we are talking about Scream 7. And I want to say a few things before we get into it.
Please.
First of all, art is subjective. And reviews, you should not internalize other people's opinions about movies you like. You should take in what they say and either take it on or leave it behind.
I agree.
And I'm saying this as someone who did lose 50 Instagram followers last weekend for sharing my opinions about this movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I gained 40.
Okay, so it's a net.
It was a net fine.
Even. Yeah,
but it's if you look at my analytics on my Instagram, there's just a weekend where I lost like 20 followers a day.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I like when people follow me, but I also get it.
You like to be on the right side of history too, you know.
Yeah, it's just a contentious. It became a contentious movie. Disclosure: neither of us paid for our tickets. So.
AMC
do with
A-list.
that what you will. I didn't even use my
hand?
A-list. I used
Really?
a comp.
Oh my God. Incredible.
So Because politically I didn't really want to pay to see this movie, but also I wanted to see this movie before, because I knew we were going to review it. I needed to see it before everyone else saw it and spoiled it for us.
Right.
So it was a wing. I mean, also, this is the first Scream movie I haven't seen multiple times at this point. So I mean, I saw Scream 6 3 times in theaters. I was unemployed.
I get it.
But I'm unemployed right now, and I did not go back to see this.
I think I saw the last two twice. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel about this movie? I'm putting it on you first.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let me just say first up, I really did, and I think I managed to separate the art, what you were saying, subjectivity. I think I managed to separate the art from the situation that's happening behind the scenes.
Same. I went in intentionally doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I did it successfully. So let me focus on the negative first, and then I'll get to the positive. I feel like that's a good route. This movie's not good. I think for me, the best parts of a Scream movie are the opening and the finale, just because typically they're both the most subversive parts.
Yeah.
And so I think the opening to this one, while somewhat clever, right? They turn Stu's house into an Airbnb, which is
genius.
like, it is very smart. Respect to the two actors kind of that we see in the opening, Jimmy Tatro and Michelle Randolph. They're great.
Yeah.
They're not quite, in my opinion, up to like Scream standards if we're looking kind of back into the franchise. Like, I think
it's not a Drew Barrymore.
I think it should have been, or like a Jada Pinkett, or
I think it should have been McKenna Grace.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Because they kill her off so early. At that point, she's the most famous person in this movie.
Let me finish. Shut up for a second, please. I think I'm glad she's in this. I think she's a little young. I think maybe a better piece of casting. That being said, I don't watch Landman. I don't watch Yellowstone. So like maybe this was a gag for some people. It wasn't a gag for me. I think maybe Renee Rapp would have been a good choice. Yeah. Someone who's sort of like in the zeitgeist. I haven't decided. Maybe Renee Rapp alone. Jimmy Tatro was like pretty fine.
Yeah.
I really, really hated that they spoiled the entire opening in the trailer. The whole opening they spoiled for us. I don't think that's ever happened. Actually, that's not true. Scream 5 was spoiled in the opening.
But the thing about the Scream 5 opening is the gag of it is that Jenna Ortega lives.
Right.
And so that is they showed us the whole thing and there was a twist to the extent that I was like, I assumed that this actually wasn't the real opening of the movie.
Right. I thought the same thing.
Because they showed so much.
I thought the same thing. Yeah. I mean, also like hot off the heels of the last Scream 6's opening, which was like pretty genius. I just rewatched it and like the final line where Ghostface is like, who gives a fuck about the movies is like, so, that was a good Ghostface impression.
That was a good Ghostface.
Who gives a go? Anyway, but so that said, and then the finale, which was so undercooked and so rushed, and I think both you and I like kind of predicted it. Like, you don't cast. Should we get into spoiler territory? Is that
I mean, it's been out for 10 days. Everyone's seen it already.
Right. Anna Camp. Like, you don't cast Anna Camp and like not make her the villain. So like from the jump, we were kind of like, okay, it's Anna Camp,
especially with how little they showed of her in the trailer.
Yes.
And how much they played up in interviews where she was like, well, I was only there for like 2 days. And I was like, you're lying to us.
You're lying through your goddamn teeth. And then obviously AI is such a pillar of the plot. And this sort of justification around it, like the other killer, Ethan Embry, was like, oh, I used to work for Google. Like that was it. That was like the only sort of like, it was just such a quick like, oh, okay, we'll just buy that. Like, am I just supposed to like... Sure, why not? So I think the ending was maybe the worst in the series.
Scream 6 really ending bad. Found alive in a ditch.
Dermot Mulroney somehow like come back from the dead.
I really thought this movie overall was super undercooked.
Yeah.
And I think a lot. I wish they had just said, okay, scrap everything. Kevin Williamson. No, but the original writer is still credited.
Oh, yeah.
For the screenplay and the story. So there's enough from the original. I mean, the WGA doesn't just do that willy-nilly. Like, there's enough from the original draft that he got fully credited for co-writing this movie.
Right.
I think a lot of the Mindy and Chad stuff was from the original script, which is why they sort of feel like they're in a. I mean, I actually will say they feel like they are in a better movie.
Yeah, I was just like really annoyed by them, and I think I guess it was clever to be. I mean, several times in the movie, characters are like, "Why are you here? Why are you here?"
Yeah.
So I think that it kind of like calls them out, which is clever because why are they there?
Well, they're there because I don't think Kevin Williamson would have put them in there, but they politically don't want to fire Melissa Barrera, have Jenna Ortega quit, and then also fire the two black actors from the last few movies.
Right.
I really think they should have said, Kevin Williamson, come in and make your last Scream.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want to say from scratch? Start from scratch. We're not going to tell you what to do, who to use. Make your final movie.
Yeah.
And we'll do with it. If we end up making an 8, we'll make an 8. But we want Kevin Williamson's final stamp on this.
Maybe they did say that.
I don't think they did because they are so obsessed with already making an 8th, which films this fall.
Can I get into the good?
No,
Just really
I still
quickly.
have some bad.
Okay. Go ahead.
The cinematography in this movie is really bad.
It looks like a TV movie.
It honestly worse. It looks so bad, so boring.
Yeah.
Every shot is boring. And then the direction's really bad too. Kevin Williamson is a great writer. I don't necessarily think he should be directing movies. His previous movie, which is Teaching Mr. Tingle or Mrs. Tingle from the 90s.
Iconic in some circles.
Yeah, but it's just like I think they got so obsessed. A lot of this movie feels like positioning the PR to combat the firing of Melissa.
Sure.
Where it's like, not only is Kevin coming back to write it, he's going to direct it, and Nev's back, and oh, don't worry, Chad and Mindy are back, and like, oh, also like McKenna Grace is in it, and it just feels like all these killers are back, but not Jill Roberts, which is Emma Roberts should have been back. If we're doing like it just like it didn't feel like it just felt like they had to make the release date. They had to make this movie when they made this movie. And it didn't matter if it wasn't fully ready to shoot.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was already teed up and they were like, okay, how can we quickly get this out the door in a way that's like going to be not completely embarrassing?
And they succeeded. This movie made a lot of money in its opening weekend.
Yeah, I think, but that's a good point. I think in addition to my problems with the ending in the beginning, I think the movie just looked not good. It almost I will say in some spots it felt Scream 4-ish. There was sort of that Vaseline-y kind of vibe, which I think sometimes they nailed, but it was not consistent. It wasn't consistent. So it felt distracting. It just alternately like didn't work.
Well, and especially coming off 5 and 6 which both, and I think in some ways against the feeling of the rest of the Scream movies, 5 and 6 are so slick.
They are slick.
And like, I like it. I understand if someone doesn't like it, but going from really well executed, great cinematography, like just really like inky blacks, like good scenes, to this, if this was the direct sequel to Scream 4, I don't think the visual language would feel as out of place with the franchise.
Right.
But because we've seen Scream look good for the last 2 movies, seeing this, and there was some really undercooked CGI too. I mean, Jimmy Tatro's head getting stabbed looked so bad.
Conceptually I was into it, but the eyes rolling back. But that's a really good point. I think back to your point of them hiring Kevin Williamson and Nev Campbell, they like wanted to make this feel like Scream from yesteryear, you know? And
which I think is why a lot of people like it.
Yeah. Do you want to you have any more
no, we can
critiques?
talk about our positives.
Okay. You're like, I have nothing positive to say.
Yeah.
I'll say all that said, I did have a good time. My theater, we talk about the theater experience being like, so important. My theater was dialed in. I think the kills were like largely solid. I think the bar, the bar scene, I think the Sydney and her daughter escaping the house was good. I like the panic room.
The panic room was really good.
Yes.
I think Sydney's daughter alone in the town, although her performance is a little uneven.
Yeah.
I think visually that's the most interesting, where you can see the shadows making Ghostface look bigger in the background. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I think also I liked excuse me, I like that actress, but that might be a me thing. I think she was really good in this movie, but I think it's because she reminded me of Grace Van Patten, who is in Tell Me Lies, who, as you know, I've been fucking obsessed with. So I was immediately on board. I'm like, Grace Van Patten. Oh, actually, fucking, you know what? It should have been Grace Van Patten in the beginning. It should have been Grace Van Patten and Jimmy Tatro. Kevin Williamson, I hope you're listening to this. Grace Van Patten for the sequel, please. Excuse me.
Yeah, I liked some of the set pieces. I don't know, like it just, a lot of elements of this movie worked, but then they felt so disparate and disconnected that it was sometimes hard to connect with them for me.
Yeah, I get it. I think
and I really wanted to like this movie, and like,
I know you did.
I think people take that I sort of called that I wasn't going to like this movie from the trailers as I decided I wasn't going to like this movie from the trailers, but I've hated a lot of trailers. A lot of trailers are really bad.
Famously, you're a trailer critic. I think Nev is good in this. I think Nev is actually quite good in this. I think, I was going to say something else. I was into how technically in this movie there are 3 Ghostface, and the third one is revealed halfway through the movie. I was into that. That being said, fuck Courtney Cox. Love her. She showed up for the fucking paycheck. She is so dialed out. Like half of her deliveries
her character
in this
just
movie
sort of vanishes. I guess at one point, what I read was that essentially she would have occupied the Mark Consuelos role, and Mindy and Chad would have occupied the independent podcaster role, and it was going to be the group of them competing, and then work it like. And that would have been more interesting. We didn't need. I think Mark Consuelos was just there for people to be like, maybe he's the killer. But
that's what Scream's all about.
He was there so that they could make sure the cast members got invited on live with Kelly and Mark.
I was going to say, I'm actually kind of obsessed because of that. I'm kind of obsessed with him being in the movie. I really like the idea of a talk. I mean, he is an actor, as we know from Riverdale and etc. But I'm excited that he was in it.
I also thought. So I knew Anna Camp was going to be a killer because.
We knew
previously mentioned.
We knew.
I thought she was going to be Casey Becker's sister.
Yes, that was a theory floating around.
I thought, and it also made me think. I think the movie's obsession with Sydney. Why hasn't there been a movie about people trying to kill Gail? And I was thinking that there should be a movie where relatives of victims are trying to kill Gail because they're tired of how her books are repeatedly victimizing them.
Right.
And
that could be 8.
Yeah.
That could be 8 because we know books were central to this plot. Listen, I love books.
Out of Darkness mentioned.
I know.
But
I understand the criticisms.
I also...
I had a good time. No, it's okay.
I can't stop talking.
I guess because I think... we're passionate about the franchise. We want the movies to be good.
Yeah.
We want movies to be good generally, but especially the Scream franchise. And that's another thing. The bar is really high, right?
Yeah.
Like every entry has something to enjoy, and so the bar is high.
Yeah. Well, it is. I've been thinking a lot about the franchise because everyone needs to rank everything. I mean, this is my least favorite.
Yeah.
But it is it just didn't have a lot to say about horror movies, to the extent it felt like maybe the last horror movie Kevin Williamson has seen was Scream 4.
And that makes sense, right? He wrote it.
Which is I get it, but it needed a commentary. It needed. Yeah. It also is our third legacy sequel to Scream. because Scream 4 was a legacy sequel about,
Yes.
and then Scream 5 was a legacy sequel, and now Scream 7 is a legacy sequel.
Right.
And so I think this movie would have been better if Scream 5 and 6 hadn't existed, but I don't want Scream 5 and 6 to not exist because I like them better.
Yeah.
Because we've seen Sydney.
Right.
Recently. She was burning Honora in a kitchen. Like, to us, she is not vanished.
Mikey Madison is so good in that movie.
I know. There's like a Pluto TV channel that just plays all the Scream movies, and so all I do is watch Scream movies right now. And so
Pluto TV mentioned.
I keep just being like, oh, all of these movies are really fun. Like, I think previously my least favorite was Scream 3, just because the lack of gore, and I sort of thought the commentary was weak.
Right.
But like, Scream 3 is iconic, and it'll be interesting to see if Scream 7 can age into a place of, it's not my favorite, but it's a movie that when it's on, I'll watch. I think it probably will. I mean, it's Ghostface, it's Scream, it's Sydney, it's a familiar thing, and I think that's why people enjoyed it and connected with it.
Right. I think we're gonna have to see where 8 goes to sort of answer that question. If Scream 7, like, is it going to be? It's got to be a legacy sequel. I can't imagine. I don't know what they're going to do. That's a good question. What do you think Scream 8 is going to be?
So I would really, and I've mentioned it before, I think Scream 8, you do more movie stuff. And so I would have a killer targeting the actors from the original Stab movie: Heather Graham, Tori Spelling, Luke Wilson, David Schwimmer. But then have it be targeted. The final target is Gail, not Sydney.
Okay.
And I have it be victims' relatives who are mad about all these people are on the convention circuit, and they're taking their appearance in these Stab movies and making a lot of money off of it while continually re-victimizing the relatives of the Scream victims.
Right.
And so I think that's sort of, and I think let Gail be the lead.
Yeah. I mean, we know Sydney took a backseat in 5. She wasn't in 6. Oh my God. In this movie, when they were like, you really should have been in 6.
And I was like, why?
I don't know. Like, that was pretty funny.
But again, it just like, it never, and also the advertising for this movie sold a different movie. Where it was like, I'm gonna burn it all to the ground.
Yeah. They didn't really
in that case, if he was gonna burn it all to the ground, Gail needed to die.
I mean, that's true.
I love Gail. I want her to star in Scream 8. But I'm saying, from this movie's perspective of the movie we were advertised, burn it all to the ground means previous victims die.
Yes.
Chad or Mindy and Gail should have died.
Really, back to what we were saying about the opening, being spoiled, burn it all down directly spoiled the opening. Like, the whole marketing basically spoiled the opening.
Yeah. It just, which sucks. I wanted more, and I feel like I'm allowed to want more. No, I wanted more from this movie.
Right.
Yeah, the movie we're talking about right now. Yeah. And I don't know, this movie made a fuck ton of money last week, and it had an insane crash this weekend. Yeah. Right now, we're recording the Saturday morning. Right now, it has fallen 74% from last week's weekend's box office. Yeah. It is currently making $1 million less than Scream 6 made in its second weekend, which is a word of mouth issue. Opening weekends are all about advertising. I mean, this movie was advertised. I bet you they spent twice as much to advertise this movie as they did to make it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's already, that being said, it's already made back its budget from the take out the marketing component.
Yeah, and that's, I don't think they're ever going to, and I think their goal was to make a ton of money on this, even if they had to only break even with how much money they spent to advertise it, because they needed to prove the boycott wasn't doing a thing, which, I mean, and the boycott was never actually going to make that big of a dent, because people are very low information, and like, not in a derogatory way, but like, people don't, I wouldn't take it on.
Well, like, I think also, let me just expand on that. People get into their bubbles. I'm guilty of that. You're guilty of that. I think people, and we're talking about it
Yeah.
But are people in, middle America having this
No,
conversation?
yeah. I think this movie attracted a lot.
If you are, fault listeners, if you are, slide into our DMs.
Yeah, but I think this movie attracted a lot of people who not even for any like active reason didn't see 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think the advertised as a return to Sydney and a return to it's kind of advertised as a return to Woodsboro, but we were not back in Woodsboro.
Yeah.
But I think people were just like, oh, there's a new Scream, and it's literally everywhere. It's on the Super Bowl, and then the next day the tickets are available for pre-sale. And like they spent a ton of money on that shit, and like it worked. And I think it sort of, but then the drop from this weekend proves that not a lot of people are going to their friends and saying, go see this.
Well, honey, you know what people are seeing this weekend?
The Bride.
Hoppers.
And
you know what people aren't seeing this weekend? The Bride.
No. But speaking of The Bride, we are going to continue on talking about it, but it is going to be on our Patreon. So if you'd like to hear our discussion about The Bride, go hop over to our Patreon. Do you have any final thoughts of Scream 7 before we jump over to The Bride?
I don't think so. I think we aired I aired everything out. I'm optimistic about. I can't help but be optimistic about 8. I mean, I do have affinity for this franchise. It's a bummer the way things have played out.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see.
And
where
I
things
think
go.
I don't fault anyone for enjoying this movie. And like that's the thing. I think a lot of people really dug in on this movie in both directions, and a lot of people are taking other people's opinions personally.
Yeah. I mean, it's just film Twitter as we know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I log onto Twitter and it is a different world. I know. But I just think like I think we both I'm gonna end on a story. I had someone who I've been mutuals with for about a year DM me, I would describe a small essay about how I shouldn't be talking negatively about Scream 7 because people are not going to want to follow me and are not going to want to buy my hats and are not going to want to share my memes. And I should have just lied and said I liked Scream 7.
What?
And then he unfollowed me and blocked me.
It was me.
It was Jesse Tabbitt. And
that feels...
but he's not the only person whose message. He's the only one that kind of felt like it mattered because it's someone I've been like talking to for a year, like back and forth about movies and stuff. But for me, especially with what we're doing here, I don't ever want to lie about how I feel about a movie.
It's also, to that person, respectfully, why does it have to be? Why can't it be a conversation? Why does it have to be? No one is going to do this. It's like let's open the schools. Why do you think that, Stuart? Let's talk about it.
Well, I think that's what's going to push pretty thoughtfully to discover I had been blocked. But I just I want everyone to sort of like take the temperature down, which after 30 minutes of me bullshitting this movie, no one who really liked Scream 7 is still listening to this because they're over us. They've all unsubscribed from the podcast.
I hope not.
But I want everyone who's listening and who's still here to know that we are never going to temper our feelings about a movie for convenience.
We're going to be real.
Where I've stood, I always want to say what I feel. And if that costs me 50 followers in a week, and that's fine, because if I like a movie or don't like a movie, I want you to be able to trust that that's how I feel.
We're journalists. We're on the front lines.
We are Gail Weathers and Mindy.
We have an obligation. Wait, I'm not sure about that.
I'm Gail Weathers and you're Mark Consuelos.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. Respectfully. Yeah. I think, we have an obligation to, as a horror podcast, let people know what we think in a transparent manner, So, that being said,
but
should we?
We are going to hop over and talk about The Bride. Thanks for coming to our Scream 7 mini, which is our first mini review publicly accessible for a while. Most of our mini reviews are behind the Patreon paywall. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Yeah. We love you. If you like Scream 7, slide them in my DMs and tell me why.
And also let us know what you think Scream 8 is going to be. Because I'm so curious. I want to hear Scream 8 theories. Please.
Yeah, it's enough time has passed. Let's talk about Scream 8.
Let's get into it. you know.
Boom, 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 boom. This podcast has been presented and produced by Stuart Ross and Jesse Tebbett. Edited by Stuart Ross. All recording equipment provided by Photo Booth Productions. To support our podcast, join us at patreon.com/anothergayhorrorpod.